Vygotsky's theory on cognitive development. Cognitive development. Cognitive development is a branch of psychology that focuses on how a child develops in terms of physical size, perceptual ability, language acquisition, and other features of a fully formed adult brain. Who is Lev Vygotsky? Lev Vygotsky was born in a middle class in Orsha, a town in northern part of Belarusia, and moved to South Gomel. In his early years, he was educated by a private tutor and combination of private and public school during his secondary education. As a child, he is interested in verbal arts, literature, poetry, theater, and philosophy, and would lead discussion in major topics in these areas because he was often called the little professor. He pursued law and medicine at the University of Moscow and taught at Gomel's Teacher College, where he started a small psychology laboratory during the period 1917 to 1924. And he became more committed to the field of psychology and education. Vygotsky always believed that children develop independent development through social interaction, that the community and language is the center part of learning, that we are all born with four elementary mental functions, which are attention, sensation, perception, and memory, that we always use in social environment for our own self-development. Vygotsky's theory of assumption. First one is learning precedes development. That we individuals, childrens, we often learn enable for us to develop. The second one is development involves the internalization of signs acquired by an individual from others so that he can think and solve problem by himself or herself. This is what we call through experience. This means through experience, through our way of socialization, the way how we socialize, and the way how we cope with our environment. Zone of proximal development. The zone of proximal development is level of development immediately above a person's presence level. Learning takes place when a child is working within his or her zone of proximal development. So, kagaya ng second assumption, it is through experience. For example, in classroom, same age, taking same subject at the same time, but if you try to advance study, then yung competency mo is more than dun sa classmates mo. And also yung sinasabi na the zone of proximal development, it has 3 stages. The first one is on what we do on our own, on ourselves, on how we develop through ourselves, kung ano yung ginagawa natin, on how we try to improve or develop ourselves, on how we help ourselves to develop more. The second one is what we can do with the help of an adults, of our parents, friends, and others. Ito yung parang through communication, we develop through communications on how others gives us comments, and then we improve. And the last one, the last stage of the zone of proximal development is the beyond our reach through technology. It is what we learn through technology, especially nowadays, that we often read some informations through social media on how we acquired it. And that is the last stage of the zone of proximal development. The last assumption or the fourth assumption, scaffolding is the support for learning and problem solving, which can be clues, reminders, encouragements from the other people, older or peer, breaking the problem down into stages, providing an example, or anything else that allows the student to grow more in independence as a learner. For teachers, scaffolding is a process that adds support for students to enhance their learning. For example, is in problem solving. First, we let them analyze. As a teachers, we let them analyze. Analyze first the question or the problem, then let them gather proofs and information. Then, after gathering the proofs that helps their claims, then it is the last process in where we correct them and let them learn from their mistakes or just to enhance what they have learned. And now let us go to the key influences. These are the three characteristics that really leave a mark from Vygotsky's work. The first one is a sincere dedication to Marxist social philosophy and conviction that, that psychological development was immediately linked to the tenet of that philosophy. If I am not mistaken, Marxist is Karl Marx, where his works focuses on struggles between capitalist and working class. The second one is the thorough acquaintances with the work of leading European and American psychologists of his day and early decades. Jean Piaget, Alfred Adler, Karl Marx, Kurt Lewin, Sergei Rubinstein, Hermann Ebbinghaus, George Wilhelm Friedrich, and Baruch Spinoza. Those are the leading European and American psychologists during his days. The last one is the great ingenuity in devising methods for studying children and for interpreting the data his method produced. For Vygotsky, children's are the best subject for this topic, cognitive development, because it is where it all begins, in children's. Here are the photos of Jean, Alfred, and Carl that really makes a mark in Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development. That's all. Thank you for listening.